unique, and empowered. This is what it feels like to be an Emirati woman. It is a blend of embracing one's roots and cultural identity, while evolving every day in a dynamic and diverse country to contribute to the development of the nation. For that reason, every year on August 28, Emirati women come together to appreciate their efforts, celebrate their work, and highlight their achievements. Emirati Women's Day was launched in 2015 by Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, wife of the late founding father Sheikh Zayed, and known as the Mother of the Nation. It was to bring recognition to the crucial role of women in the country. To me personally, Emirati Women's Day holds a unique significance. It is a reminder of the nation's commitment to gender equality and women's empowerment. It's a celebration of progress and a tribute to the determination of Emirati women who have played pivotal roles in shaping the country's growth and success. For this year, Sheikha Fatima chose the theme of this occasion to be "We Collaborate for Tomorrow." That's why I decided to highlight women's strongest collaboration, the sisters. The meaning of sisters coupled with collaboration forms a powerful alliance and an unbreakable bond. This is Beyond the Headlines, and I'm your host, Shireena Al Nowais. This is a special episode celebrating Emirati women. I sat down with 5 of the most powerful and successful sisters in the UAE, the Al-Kaabi sisters and the Al-Jabri sisters. But before we start, if you want to get all the latest episodes as soon as they come out, then just hit the subscribe button wherever you listen to your podcasts. Since this is a day dedicated to honoring the remarkable achievements and contributions of women in the UAE, I met 3 sisters who have set an example and made great marks in various fields. Her Excellency Noor Al-Kaabi, the Minister of State at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. She was also the Minister of Culture and Youth for 5 years and the Minister of State for the Federal National Council Affairs. Dr. Fatima Al-Kaabi, who is the Executive Director of the Abu Dhabi Bone Marrow Transplant Program at the Abu Dhabi Stem Cell Center and the Vice Chair of the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. She got her master's degree in oncology and cancer biology from UCL and Masters of Public Health from the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. Sheikh Al-Kaabi, who is the CEO of Earth and an entrepreneur who started Milas, one of the country's first authentic Emirati casual dining restaurants that received the Michelin Guide Award. For the same occasion, I met May Al-Jaber and Muna Al-Jaber. Dr. May is head of a health company. She studied medicine at the UAE University and also got her master's degree from the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, while Muna is heading the communications department at a defense company. She got her master's in business administration from the UAE University. They are also the sisters of His Excellency Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber, Minister of Industry and Advanced Technology, Group CEO of the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, Chairman of Masdar and President of COP28.
So we're a total of 6. I'm the eldest. And then comes Fatima. Number 3 is Sheikha. Number 4 is my brother Ahmed. 5 is my sister Azza. And the 6th child is Abdullah. So 2 boys and 4 girls.
And what do you do?
I'm currently working at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I'm a Minister of State handling the public diplomacy file.
And Fatima?
I'm a hematologist. Between brackets, blood doctor, but I work in stem cell transplant. So, yeah.
I work in hospitality, Earth Hotel. We're part of renovating and upgrading the hotel. So I've been here for 6 years now.
You have worn many hats. You were in culture and then education and foreign. It does seem to have a common link.
Yeah. And I think it's fascinating because of what I'm working on right now is kind of as you mentioned, a culmination of my career so far. So I graduated from UAE University. I studied information management systems. So it had nothing to do with what I've done, but I think mostly that was the case, not anymore. I worked a little bit in the health sector, but I was mostly in IT and management, little bit and briefly, like 2 to 3 years. Then I moved to the clean energy sector. Dolphin Energy was my door to be working closely with Khaldoon Mubarak. And from there, I worked in media at 2454. Media and culture, I think, of course, they're at this. You're talking about the same genre as when it comes to a career-wise. After that, during my work at 2454, I was as well appointed to be a member of the Federal National Council for the Emirate of Abu Dhabi. So therefore, that was another kind of a window to be in the federal system and understand the federal process. And therefore, worked at the Ministry of Federal National Council as well, and then the Ministry of Culture for 5 years. And now here I am at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs handling public diplomacy.
As sisters, no one has ever stopped. Like you're continuously exploring new venues. Is this something that you got from your mother? And we're always working, we're trying new things, we're trying harder. So is it something that was instilled in you when you were young? And as women?
I remember once when I called my mom. It was my second week in my first job, and I was like, "This is boring. I don't think I want to continue, working at the office." And she was like, "Yeah, what's the solution?" And I told, "Nothing, Mom. I think maybe I'll just take a break and find another job." And she said, "Do you think work is going to knock on your door and take permission for you to work?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "You need to ask for things. You need to be part of meetings. You need to commit. And your presence is important as well." So that was kind of a wake-up call to me when she said that. So she's kind of, both my parents, as Sheikha mentioned, we see them early in the morning. Bless them, they're still working, but the motive stems from them.
It's like it's the norm. You grow up and we see this as a norm. So we grew up with working parents so this is a priority, and you pursue, you move forward, you take care of things by your own. And yes, of course, there is guidance, there is this, but we always saw it as a norm. But when we sit with other people, and most of the friends that we had, their mother wasn't working mothers.
Yes.
They didn't work. So I guess it wasn't the norm for them.
You three went to the same school that your mother was the headmistress of, صح?
With my mom?
Yes.
She's the principal. She's the headmistress. She's very tough. She used to, it was a complete different game in school versus the house. And I used to take tests twice because she used to make sure that, after me finishing the test, she calls me to her office. Because she wants to grade.
Taking the test
she wants
even
to,
our away
she
home.
wants to grade. She wants to grade me on spot, because bless her, she was teaching us in the house. She was our teacher.
So it's actually harder being the principal's daughter.
Yes.
Big time.
Yeah.
There's no favors whatsoever.
No favorism at
We
all.
will
And the punishment is like double.
But talking about the change, I think there's a change of culture and there's a shift with the younger generation growing up, seeing that their mothers are working. Do you think Emirati women have changed? The idea of what an Emirati woman should be, where previously she took care of her house, she took care of her husband and kids. Now she's a working woman and then a politician. Do you see an evolution in what it means to be Emirati?
I always see that the women that we are surrounded ourselves with are always strong women. They're always working.
Regardless of the role.
Yeah. And the thing is, when we say Emirati, there's sometimes people, Emirati, they're Emirati. Everything is granted.
It's like a privilege.
But what we've seen and the people we worked with, and we've seen different things. And this is what needs to be projected and portrayed more rather than, the idea of what women used to do. Of course, taking care of family is essential not only for women, for the whole family. It's a structure. This structure is a combination of efforts from each member of the family, regardless of man and woman. But I think the women I worked with, Emiratis, were all hardworking.
And I think as well, when you look at the history timeline, both men and women of the UAE evolved in their jobs at the same manner. And I think this doesn't, I don't see a gender lagging behind.
What does Emirati Women's Day mean to you? I know this is a cliche question, but I think different people have different answer. So what does it mean to each one of you?
Well, for me, I think it always reminds me of the solid women who are behind us. Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, the number one supporter from day one. So she transformed or translated Sheikh Zayed words into actions when it came to women. My mother, she's the one missing in this frame, and of course my sister as well. But my mother is also the force in the house, and she's the force of who we are. So, and even if we say Emirati Women Day, I tend to not focus on only the Emirati women because it's a collective kind of force that is also helping us together. With the other individuals who are residents of the UAE and consider their UAE home. So for me, it's always women who are sometimes missing in the frame. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's tough to answer after Noura. I don't know. Is it by intention you ask her first?
She's the eldest.
Well, I always say, how do you... we were enabled to be this. So we have enablers that made us what we are today. I remember even there was one point of my personal life where Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak was the person who really supported me personally into getting into the next level. And this is something, when you're in a university, you cherish it it stays with you. It stays with you, and it imprints in your DNA later on. Of course, going forward, then you grow up. I grew up in a house where everyone is strong. My mom, my sisters, my grandmothers, one who recently passed away. I'll tell you my memory of her. She was someone who, when we go to Al-Ain, we were kids, she, from the morning till night, she will take care of everything. She will do the breakfast for us. She will walk. She will go to the chicken coop. She will take the chicken. She will slaughter the chicken in front of us. And nobody will say, oh, don't show the kids that. No, we saw everything.
We saw it all.
We saw it all. Yeah? I mean, we're not traumatized. I think we're okay.
We're fine. Yeah.
I think.
I believe.
Yeah?
It didn't surface yet.
We go to the kitchen, and we sit and we saw her. Even the rice, at this time, she would pick, the bugs from the rice. Because the rice had bugs at this time. Yes. And I remember the bugs, and, you used to play with them. And she would do everything. So you grow up. At this time, of course, you don't realize, but you see the strength of a woman.
No matter what the background is.
No matter what the background is. Taking care of things from A to Z. So everyone that I pass through, there is an imprint that is left that now make us want to enable the next generation and to enabling the vision of whatever kind of things that we can make also UAE as a UAE on the top of the top. So this is how, maybe I'm too poetic to it for it, but this is how I see it.
Very difficult to answer.
They've said everything.
They sum it up, but it's a significant day for all of us, Emirati women and women in general, living in a nation that is very encouraging. We're given the opportunity to thrive, and this is what we have to do. We have to seek this opportunity and shine. We live I always say we're very honored to live in a society where women are treated in a way that given all the chances to make a difference. So it's a remarkable achievement of Emirati women every day. But to celebrate it with one day, it's something that it's...
I've always been curious, is there a definition to Emirati? Like, what is an Emirati woman? Is it just that you have the passport? Is it a nationality thing? What is it defines an Emirati woman? And I think a lot of people don't know that. It's very fluid.
I believe Emirati women who contributed to the value of this country.
So it's not in holding the nationality.
No.
It's in general.
I don't think so. It's not about the documents that you carry. It's about the value that you bring forward. And I think everyone who added value and also helped other members within the society to bring, because we need to remember that it's not an individual who can make what is made today. It's a collective effort. And let's speak statistics. How many? We're 1 million out of 12 million? 1 million Emiratis, after 12 million. And we, as I think, we have this kind of, I'm so kind of proud to have, because I've been to the US, we've been to Europe, we've been to many places. We've seen how the country deals with the different nationalities into more of a horizontal kind of approach rather than, segregated approach. And this is what made us what we are today. So everyone who contributed to this beautiful product of a country that is growing and growing and growing is, I think, is an Emirati. I
think it's very unique. It's a very unique identity. Going back to Fatma's point, even when we talked statistics and the numbers and the number of Emirati versus the residents of the UAE, you still see the Emirati woman. She's there. So I think it's the quality over the quantity. I think it's the spirit that even stems from our leadership, the X 10 or 100% of how much you can give. What Sheikha said, I can't imagine myself retiring after 15 years of career-wise. It's how much I can give and double that in my house. Sheikha has a mother with her son, so how can we double that from a personal perspective and professional? So I think Emirati woman is so connected with her tradition, but she's so modern as well, so modern. She's, you can, from a household with a grandmother with burqa, she's going to speak the language of sports, right? She's going to speak the language of international relationships, because you have this kind of you're in a society that is so cosmopolitan, yet people is embracing as well. It's an embracing, so how you get this kind of a beautiful as well Bedouin spirit into getting everyone being part of the same kind of a calling. So I think Emirati is a very, very unique identity. If it's for women or men, I don't think it's a formula that you can clone.
Everything's clonable.
Yeah. You can't clone it. You can't.
But again, it's the balance. And it's the culture and the heritage and how we bring it forward. And it's that strength of Emirati women if we go from the beginning, she's the pillar of the house. So I strongly believe that women are pillars and we give to society and we balance between family and work. And this is something that they always say, women now have the multi-skill, but multitask. So we do multitask, we do understand.
What has kept you girls close for all this time? Usually siblings fight, somebody leaves, somebody decides, I don't want to know you guys ever.
It's how we brought up. My parents are very strict when it comes to, if anyone fights, we cannot have one day without talking to each other. We have to make up the same day.
Even the brothers?
Everyone.
Everyone. Yeah. Both my parents.
My father is from the military, and my mother is a principal. So you do the combination.
My last question, even though I can ask a million, your message on Emirati Women's Day to other Emirati women.
Well, my message is I'm proud to be an Emirati woman, and I think for us we have a long way to go. So build up your stamina, make it a day worth of its title, make it a day that will make Sheikha Fatima proud, our leadership proud, people around us, our family members, our friends, our community. I think we shouldn't take this day for granted ever. I think it's a day that just reminds us of how we should even do better and work harder.
I think, again, I'm proud and blessed to be an Emirati woman. Yani. And my message to everyone is be an enabler to the vision that the UAE deserves. And I think this is a very big responsibility. It's not an easy responsibility. So I think also with the theme of the collaboration, this is something that can work as an accelerator to be a vision enabler. So, yeah.
The message to Emirati women is first, we're honored to live in a society where we are empowered. But my message in particular is to let's set out to exceed the expectation and have a new heights for what we are given. So we're proud, and just every day we need to exceed this expectation from us. Yeah.
And now let's go to my interview with the Al-Jabri sisters. What is the Emirati woman? What defines Emirati women?
Emirati woman is different, unique, beautiful, very smart. And I believe we are very strong.
Being an Emirati woman and living in the beloved United Arab Emirates, I feel that every day is an Emirati Women's Day. The recognition, the empowerment, and the advancement of Emirati women in many disciplines are significant and outstanding. And having Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, Allah يحفظها, the Mother of Nation, dedicating a day in the UAE calendars as a woman's or as an Emirati Women's Day is incredible. And to me, honestly, this just reflects the leadership trust on our abilities to collaborate and to contribute in shaping a brighter future for the community and for the country.
So tell me about your father. What does he do? Or he's, I'm guessing, retired right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
So what was he?
Okay, he's a businessman, and he was from the founders of National Council in UAE. And my father is a very strong man with a huge experience in society, life, and he's a very diplomatic person.
And your mother?
My mom, she's a housewife and a mother.
How big an influence was she on your lives, on shaping May and Mona today?
Okay, my mom was always the rock that we depend on her, and she built the resilient on us, and she put on us her values in the life, and that's why we achieve her goals. She grew up 5 childs with a certain values that we have followed.
So a common thing that I saw at the Emirati Women's Day, all the successful women have a strong mother who's like instilled in them the importance of working, of contributing to society. Have you noticed that as well? And they seem to have taught them and never to give up, to keep working hard and doing your best. Have you noticed that?
That's true. I think both of my parents have influenced our personality and helped us being what we are at this time.
But you have a long history in Fidwam, starting, I think, with the military hospital and then moving to the private sector. What was the hardest part of this journey, and what was your biggest challenge?
Being in the military itself was a challenge, and I remember at one point where when I was asked to be in a mission in Afghanistan, that was a very difficult decision, but my father and especially my brother, Dr. Sultan, supported me and encouraged me to go for the mission in Afghanistan, and it was one of my greatest experience.
How many women were there?
We were two physicians between a lot of men and soldiers, of course.
That's amazing. Today, in your field, is it still a challenge for women to join the defense sector? And also, as a chief executive officer, is it still? Are we still a minority, or do you see more women joining in both sectors and more women in this senior position?
I found out it's much easier than before. Women's now having the doors open and in different fields. And I believe that UAE have a unique push and support to UAE's women. So I believe, and I'm sure that all Emirati women are very lucky being Emiratis.
How about you?
In healthcare sector, I don't think it's a challenge anymore. We have a lot of outstanding female in the healthcare sector, maybe less in the clinical fields, but we have a lot of great Emirati women in the healthcare sector, mainly in the admin sides.
So I know both of you personally, and I know you're strong champions of Emirati women. I know in every meeting you sit and you always try to push for their education, for their employment. That's amazing to see, and we don't see that a lot. So you obviously feel that they do need more support.
Actually, it's passion and belief on our skills, capabilities. Exactly. So I should send a message to all Emiratis ladies that believe in yourself. We have very good universities now, and the new generation are much lucky than the old generations. Maybe part of the ladies earlier, they used to travel even to find the majors that they want to study. But nowadays, all the universities are having different fields that you put your efforts to study and to graduate from the best universities in UAE. So I think the opportunities are there. Learning and developing themselves as coming from their own feelings, and they have to challenge that Emirati ladies having the priority always.
We believe in each other, and we're supporting each other. And this comes all the way from Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, Allah yahfadha, the mother of the nation. She's been the main supporter for women to empower and uplift women here in the UAE. And this is our role as well, to support each other. And then I had my MPH at Johns Hopkins University in US, and this was a program sponsored by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nowais.
I graduated from Ajman University. I had a bachelor degree in business administration, and then I had my master's degree from UAE University, and I had several courses in supply chain and investments and finance from Ashridge University in UK, Stanford University in San Francisco, USA. And I was the first UAE national Emirati lady having a program about women leaders in the world, and it was in Stanford University.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was a surprise that an Emirati lady having this course and I wasn't actually in very senior position that time. I just was senior manager, an investment unit, and then I decided to go for this program in Stanford, and it took a long time to interview me and accept me. When I reached there, they found me that I'm the only lady wearing hijab, and they don't know where I am from. I was between and experts and CEOs, chiefs, executives, officers in different fields from worldwide. Mostly they were from Germany and UK and US. And they start asking me, where are you from? We want to know about you. What is Emiratis ladies do there? Are they housewives, cooking and just looking after their children, or what they do? So my graduation from this course was talking about the role of Emirati women. And of course, the person that I had it as a model is Sheikha Fatima, Allah yahfadha. And I start talk about her when she think about Emirati ladies and the education, and she started the first school in Abu Dhabi, and the journey.
If there is a young Emirati and her dream is to be in your position one day, what would you advise her? How can she reach to where you two have reached?
Okay, learn and learn and learn. Yeah, and do your homework. Spend good time and learning, reading, investigating everything about this field. And I'm sure you will succeed. Believe in yourself to achieve. Make sure that you are part of this society and you need to be a star. Your inputs is very important. Even it doesn't matter if it's big inputs or small input. Being a mother in this society is a very important role. Being a wife, being a sister, and Emirati ladies is not succeeded because they have a very known positions. No, our mothers were housewives, and they plant on us a lot of values that and they found us or they grow up us that we can be part of the society, and we can return back to our country, even a very small part of what our country gave us. So just every lady in this country should believe on her capabilities.
How about you,
to me, it requires a lot of commitment, hard working, focusing, being there and being available at your workplace for your colleagues. If you're at a leader position, you need to listen. You need to be available for your team. And this requires a lot of course, it might require a lot of even your personal time. If you're accepting responsibility, you need to be able to achieve or to meet your team expectation.
We were the first always in the school. One day, my father, for example, he was not accepting to get 9 over 10. Yeah, that means you did nothing.
You didn't do well.
You didn't do well. You should come with 10 over 10. Why you have to lose 1 mark? It's not accepted.
How about you? Was he harder on you than the boys?
I mean, in my career, I started from scratch. I joined the military after graduation as a physician. And then, of course, as you know, in the military, there are the ranks. So I got promoted over the years of my work at the military. And of course, it requires the training in the military. So I've been to Khawla bint Al Jaber, for example, Khawla bint Al Jaber school. I had the full military training. And mentioning that, I have a very pride moment and Khawla bint Al Jaber school. It's the graduation day where Her Highness Sheikha Fatima attended our graduation. And I was the officer carrying UAE flag.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
This is always in my memory.
Ms. Anna, to me, one thing that pulls us back is that when you see a successful woman and you hear the word, oh, it's because of her father, or it's because of her husband, or it's because of her brother, and you two are proof that it isn't because of any male figure in our lives. What was your biggest challenge in your career, both of you?
Proving ourselves as a woman.
We have to work harder.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think in a few years maybe men will have to work harder to prove themselves? What more work do you feel needs to be done? In what areas to support? Like, do we need more support? This is in line with the theme of Sheikha Fatima.
Yeah.
You think we need more collaboration? We need more support?
Yeah.
Do we need to support each other?
Yeah, ladies should cooperate to deliver the successful projects that they have in their life. Collaboration is not only in the work atmosphere, even in the life requirements. They have to cooperate. Family members, they have to collaborate. Friends have to collaborate. Sisters have to collaborate, you know. The collaboration is not a message just for those colleagues in a university or in a work, but collaboration is in different fields.
How about you?
To me, it's always better if we work together. So definitely collaboration is much required, and then we can learn from each other. There is no harm of learning from someone who is successful to be more successful. On this occasion of Emirati Women's Day, I would like to thank Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, Allah yahfadha, for her unwavering commitment to support and empower Emirati women. She's been always my role model and source of inspiration, and this motivates me to aspire for greatness and positive impact.
Thanks this week to Her Excellency Noor Al-Kaabi, Dr. Fatima Al-Kaabi, Sheikh Al-Kaabi, May Al-Jaber, and Mona Al-Jaber. This episode was produced by Arthur Edison and Dua Farid, and I'm Shireena Al Nowais. Thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe or follow us on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed this episode, please consider sharing it with others who might benefit from this conversation.